Welcome back to another Warframe video. Today we're going over the Braton Prime. As you have seen from the start of the video, this weapon is very strong. Today I'll be going over two builds, one focusing on the base form and the other focusing on the incarnate form. But first, let's talk about the frame. Today's helmet on Revenant Prime is Nourish. Along with the free additional energy economy, the viral damage will further boost our raw damage against Demolists. While Eclipse would have been a better helmet for raw damage, Eclipse relies on light levels and light intensity to give you varying levels of buffs. For me, it's just not reliable to use Eclipse despite it giving more damage. For ability strength, we have Umbral Intensify, Transient Fortitude, and Blind Rage, along with growing power in the Aura and Mold Augmented in our Arcane slot. This, when fully built up, that means Mold Augmented on 250%, 250 times, gives us 428% strength. If we tack on our Parazon, giving us an additional 50% ability strength, this pushes us all the way up to 478% strength. This bumps our Mesmer skin from a measly 25 to 28. This also bumps Nourish to 5.78 times energy multiplier and damage increase to 358.5%. For ability duration, we have Prime Continuity and Narrow Minded for 227% duration. This gives Nourish 56.63 seconds uptime per cast. Prime Flow and Equilibrium serves as our energy economy. They will work together with Nourish to keep our energy bar topped up. Nourish is so strong that energy drain conduits, even at level cap, really mean nothing. You just need to make sure that it is still active once the Demolist is dead. Prime Sure-Footed and Rolling Guard will work together to serve as a layer of survivability if Mesmer Skin runs out. If, let's say, my Mesmer Skin runs out and I haven't rolled, I could be knocked down without Prime Sure-Footed. That's why Prime Sure-Footed is here. Rolling Guard to give me 3 seconds of invulnerability to give me some time to recast my Mesmer skin so that I don't die. And for our final Arcane slot, it's Arcane Acceleration. Arcane Acceleration gives me 30% chance to get 90% fire rate for my primary weapons. Now on to the main star today, the Braton Prime. The evolutions I went with are Munitions Grit on Evolution 2. This gives me additional 2 damage, while Multi-Shot consumes the ammo directly from capacity, increasing my damage by 54%. This also increased my Multi-Shot. For Evolution 3, I went with Void's Guidance. This will be required if you're running Incarnate form. If not, you are free to use the other perk that gives you 1125 ammo. And for our final evolution, it will be Critical Parallel, increasing my critical chance by 18% and increasing my critical damage by 0.2 times. reason I went with this is because we're doing raw damage. Raw damage do well with crits, hence why I went with critical parallel. Moving on to the actual mod configuration, galvanized chamber for our multi-shot multiplier, galvanized aptitude for our base damage multiplier, prime beta Grineer for our fraction damage multiplier, critical delay and vital sense for our critical chance and critical damage multiplier respectively. Vial acceleration for another 90% fire rate. This and arcane acceleration will give us 180% fire rate. Prime cryo rounds and infected clip are here to give us viral. Now, can you choose not to run these two? Yes, you can run anything else provided you are using Nourish. If not, use Prime Cryo rounds and infected clip. You need the viral if you're doing raw damage. However, if like me, you're using Nourish, then feel free to change. My recommendation would be Vigilante Armament and Hellfire. Hellfire has heat. It's a heat mod, so heat has additional 25% damage to clone flesh. This, along with viral, will give us more damage against clone flesh. And because we're always stripping the Demolists, we will always be on clone flesh. Vigilante Armament is here, would be there so that we have more multi-shot. As for our arcane, because we're doing headshots, we are going with primary deadhead. This gives us 360% damage on 3 stacks, an additional 30% headshot multiplier, and a token weapon recoil. Now, something I must say is that because one of our evolutions is munitions grit, evolution 2, we absolutely need primed rifle ammo mutation. Or in fact, just ammo mutation. Whether it be primed or not. Primed would be better, but normal works fine. But the reason why you need it is because your ammo deletes itself every single time you pull a trigger. This helps your ammo economy upkeep. Moving on. Earlier I mentioned that there will be 2 approaches to this build, so let's get to it. This current setup, the whole galvanized chamber, galvanized aptitude, primary deadhead, this setup works with your incarnate. However, you can also choose to hyper optimize for incarnate only. Instead of galvanized aptitude, you would drop this for serration. The reason why is because galvanized aptitude does not work on the explosion, on the incarnate form. So instead of galvanized aptitude, serration works on both the AoE and the impact of the projectile. Now, another thing that we would change is your arcane. Because you're doing incarnate, headshots wouldn't be as potent. So you can choose to either stick with headshots, or my recommendation is to change it to primary frostbite. Some of you may ask, why primary frostbite? Well, first off, because it's AoE, your headshot multiplier is reduced to 1x. So the only buff primary deadhead gives you is base damage buff and a headshot multiplier. However, your headshot multiplier totals up only to 1.3x of what it would have been. Primary Frostbite, on the other hand, gives you 90% multi-shot and 120 critical damage, bumping us from 3.3 multi-shot to 4.2 multi-shot, and if you are using Vigilante Armaments, 4.8 multi-shot. That means that it goes from 3 shots per trigger pulled with a 30% chance of having an additional 1 to 4 shots with a 20% chance of an additional 1, and if you're using Vigilante Armaments, 4 shots with an 80% chance of having an additional 1. Meanwhile, the critical damage increases from 4.8 times to 7x multiplier. Another reason to use Primary Frostbite is because for some reason, and this really comes from a personal experience, for some reason, to proc Deadhead, you have to hit the very tip of the forehead. I don't know why, but that's just what I've experienced in my level cap run. Primary Frostbite doesn't have such issues. You just need cold procs, and if you just need cold procs, it saves itself. 40 cold procs means that you just need to fully proc 5 enemies with 8 stacks of cold procs for that 40x stack. So you don't have to worry about hitting the tippy top forehead to proc Deadhead or any of those shenanigans. So pretty much it makes it less annoying to deal with. Now, onto the primer. The primer is our Epitaph. An Epitaph is a usual build built for heat and viral. Secondary encumber is here so that our gun CO has some free statuses here and there to get some free damage. If you're not using gun CO or galvanized aptitude, both are interchangeable, then feel free to use any arcane you feel like. Reflex draw here, you don't really need it since your Braton is pretty accurate. You can swap it out for ammo mutations, but other than that, the build is pretty general, nothing groundbreaking. Speaking of nothing groundbreaking, here's the Glaive Prime. Same build as always, haven't changed it for God knows how long, but yeah, this is what I use to deal with Acolytes. You strip, turn on Nourish, enthrall the Acolyte, throw the Glaive, detonate the Glaive in front of the Acolyte, and watch as the Acolyte disappear. Forever. But yeah, no, that's the Glaive Prime. The focus school that we are doing today is Unairu. Now why Unairu? Because Unairu has Caustic Strike. Caustic Strike gives me the ability to strip enemy armor permanently. And not just that, this isn't affected by the Daedalus Pulse. Not like Nyx's strip or Ash's strip. It's permanent. A lot like Theros Strike. So I strip and I don't have to worry about the Daedalus pulsing and returning the armor back. So hence the reason why I'm using Caustic Strike. Earlier I mentioned having the 50% ability strength on our Parazon. Here, the mod is Power Drain, and with this we reach the 478% ability strength, as previously mentioned. Blood for energy and blood for life is just free energy economy just in case your nourish isn't up or you need some immediate energy right off the bat immediately. Blood for life gives you a health orb that, along with equilibrium and the synth fiber set from your Pensive Filer, you can pick it up and gain 55 energy. Blood for energy has a 50% chance to drop an energy orb. Each energy orb is 25 energy, and if you have nourish up, that turns into a lot more than 25. So yeah, let's bring this for a test run and let's see what it can do. Prime, strip, prime, and headshot. Prime and prime, strip, and delete. Simple enough. Nothing too complicated. It's the same for Incarnate. And just kill them. If you enjoyed this video, do like, share, and subscribe. I do Warframe level cap guides. And if you have a weapon you want to see me cap with, do leave them in the description. I hope you enjoy this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a nice day, and bye bye.